Hello and welcome back to this second process. We're going to start this process by looking at Zapier, which is a third-party cloud-based connector for cloud-based applications. Now you'll notice that Etsy does not have any integrations on Zapier, and that's important because we will not be able to use email service providers or autoresponders in order to collect leads. However, a careful search will yield that there is a connection between Etsy and autoresponders such as GetResponse. And for example, GetResponse will allow you to import your Etsy listings to your GetResponse account. Email service provider Aweber also has an integration with Etsy. One of the things you'll notice in multiple places when talking about Etsy and email marketing is that it is firmly against Etsy's policies for you to add any customer's email to your list without that customer's consent up front. So it's questionable whether you should use an integration even if there's an integration that will allow you to do so. But now that you have a specific product ready to be downloaded within your store with a value, you will be able to offer that value in exchange for an email address so that you can start the process of email marketing and get consent at the same time. So we're going to start the process by going to an account with an email service provider, GetResponse. Now obviously you will be using the email service provider that you use, but the steps we'll be taking will be the exact same regardless of the email service provider that you're going to use. Now right now you're looking at GetResponse. This is an email service provider that will allow you to send emails to individuals that become part of your marketing list. And so what we're going to do first is we're going to create a specific list for the individuals that purchase products on our Etsy account. So we're going to click Create List. We're going to give that list a name and then click Create. Once that list is created, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the settings of that list. We're going to give the list a title and description. What we're then going to do is we're going to choose the category. And what we can then do is we can choose a logo in order to upload to this area. Once we've done that, we can save our general settings. What we're now going to do is we're going to go to the subscription tab and we're going to change the settings of this individual list. Now the most conservative way to operate your email marketing list is to attempt to get double opt-in confirmation. This means that the individual must confirm that they have become part of your email marketing list. And so what we're going to do is enable both web subscription and API subscriptions so that when individuals confirm by clicking on an email that they want to become part of our email marketing list, they'll be added. Now the process may be different with your email service provider. However, you will get the opportunity to specify that you do want double opt-in confirmation. Now most email service providers give you a choice of sending people to a confirmation page created by the email service provider or one that you designate. For example, here's the preview of the confirmation page inside of GetResponse, and you'll see where the information that we placed in actually matters. Now what we can also do is we can place in a custom URL, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to place in a custom URL so that when the individual confirms, they're actually going to go to the page where we want them to go. And in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to show them one of the related products in our Etsy store. So we're going to grab the link to the other item, and we're going to take that URL and we're going to place it in the confirmation area. What this now means is that when the individual confirms, they're going to be taken to our other product. Now we do have other things that we can preview in terms of how things are going to look when the individual becomes part of our list. We're going to skip that part right now and we're going to save the subscription settings since these are the only things that we have control over in terms of our confirmation. What we're now going to do is go to the confirmation message tab. And basically what we can do is we can make changes to the individual message if that's what we want to do. What we're going to do right now is save the confirmation message. Now, in some cases, your email service provider will have a service that, in addition to allowing you to collect email addresses, you'll have a landing page system. If they don't have one, they typically will have a form that you can create so that you can give that URL to people in order to sign up to become part of your list for the incentive that you're going to be offering them. So because we can't assume that you're going to be able to find a landing page creator with your email service provider, we're going to start by creating a form, and we're going to use that form in order to get people to sign up for our newsletter. Now, you're typically going to get several different kinds of templates. You're going to want to choose one of those templates and then make changes to it based on your information. What we're going to do now is we're going to make a specific offer for the product that we're now going to be giving them access to that has a specific value at our store. And so basically what we're doing is we're asking them for their name and their email address in exchange for the product. Now, there are two pages for us to be concerned with. There is the opt-in page, and we also want to concern ourselves with the thank you page. Now, on the thank you page, we want to make sure to tell the people that they need to go to their email box in order to confirm the email in order to get our product. So we're going to change the verbiage to make sure that the individual knows they need to go to their email box to confirm the email so that they'll get what we promised them. Now, in GetResponse, what we need to do to this form is we need to go to the settings. When we get to those settings, we want to make sure that we give the web form an identifiable name. And typically you'll have to do this in any email service provider that you're looking for, and you really want to do this for good practice so that you'll be able to very easily tell what opt-in form you're using so that you can determine what the results are. And we're going to make sure that we have, for this particular list and form, that we want a confirmed opt-in. And what we're going to do is when this individual becomes part of our email marketing list, we want to make sure that they're going to be sent a message immediately. That's going to be the message where they're going to be able to download the product that we promised them. Now, what we're going to do for the thank you page is that we're going to ask them to be sent to the default page. That's the page that we just created as the thank you page. If for some reason that individual has already subscribed, we want them to be sent to a specific URL. Now, in this case, we're going to have that individual sent to our Etsy product. And so we're going to place that URL here. What we're going to do now is we're going to click Save. What we're going to do now is going to click Publish. And we now have both the form as well as a link. Now, if you don't have a particular website that you're using, you can have the internet service provider host the form. In this case, that's what we're going to do with GetResponse. We're going to allow GetResponse to host the form. We're going to copy that URL. What we're going to do now is we're going to look at that URL in another browser. And you'll see the form that we've now created that the individual will then see when we give them that URL. What we now need to do is we need to determine what email they're going to see when they actually opt into our list. So we need to create an autoresponder or a message for that individual to get when they become part of our email marketing list. To do that, we're going to go to this area and we're going to create an autoresponder. We want to make sure that we have the right name, and we do. We have the list that we created for this purpose. We want this to be sent to the individual on day 0. So you're going to want to make sure that this is indicated inside of your email service provider, even if it doesn't look exactly like GetResponse. We're now going to write in an autoresponder name, which is going to be for our reference only. We've determined that this message will be sent immediately. So what we're going to do is we're going to click this link that says Create New Email. We're going to give the message a name, subject, and we're going to go to the next step. Now, you're typically going to get your choice of a number of templates to use for your email. You can use whichever one you think is going to work best for your particular brand or market. Now, for the sake of this video, we are going to click Start from Scratch. and we're just going to choose a blank template. Now again, it's important to note that this interface is not going to look like others. And so we're just going to walk through the basic process of setting up an email with the file that we've already created for individuals to download. So we're going to write in a message, and we're going to place in the link, and we're going to set up a hyperlink for the individual to get the product that we have promised. And for the sake of this video, we are keeping this particular message short. What we need to do is we need to hyperlink this phrase. We need to hyperlink it with the actual product. Now you should already have a link deliverable in your Drive. In this case, we're using Google Drive. You would use whatever delivery platform that you've chosen. And so what we could do is we could take the link directly from the Drive and then create it. However, if you have some kind of landing page software, this would be a good time for you to use it. And so in this case, we're going to open up a separate instance in the browser of GetResponse so that we can create a landing page. Again, this may or may not be available inside of your email service provider. You can replicate this on any website that you have. For example, you can create a website on blogger.com if you just need a place in order to create a landing page and then to create a link on that landing page. Blogger.com is going to be free, and you can definitely use it for that purpose. So again, if we operate under the assumption that you do not have landing page software available inside of your email service provider, we're going to go ahead and create a free site on blogger.com. And so we're going to create this address. We're going to give our website a display name. What we're going to do here is we're going to create a page. And we're going to now create a new page. Again, one of the reasons why you're going to use this page inside of your email is because you're going to deliver the link, but you're also going to be able to give access to other links that are going to be relevant inside of your Etsy store. So we're going to do a very simple page in order for your customer to be able to download the link that you're sending them. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to hyperlink to the product, and we're going to use this link. We're going to then place in here the URL, and once we have completed this, we're then going to click OK. So now we have a downloadable link for our product. And what we can do here now is we can say that there are other products that are related that the customer can look at. Again, obviously, this is not going to look the way a landing page is going to look, but the process is going to be the same. What we're going to do is we're going to link to our products inside of our Etsy store. And so we're going to grab the link to our other products. And we're now going to hyperlink them on this download page. And we're going to place that link in this dialog box. I'm going to click OK. Now what we have is we have the product that we're going to deliver, and they're also going to have access to links where they can go to other products that we have on our Etsy site. We're now going to publish this page, and the page is now ready. What we're now going to do is we're going to grab the link to this page, and then we're going to now head back to our email inside of GetResponse. And we're going to now hyperlink with that page, and we're going to place the URL for our page inside of the email. So now when the customer signs up to our email list, they're going to get a download of the product that we promised them. They're also going to see on that page other products from our Etsy store. Now inside of GetResponse, we do need to go through the process of making sure that there is a plain text email version available. So we're going to complete this process inside of GetResponse. Now this may look different inside of your individual email service provider. However, you are going to do the same thing. You're going to make sure that there's an HTML version. You're going to make sure that there is also going to be a plain text version. Once we've done that, we'll then close. We will then go to the next step. So now what we have is we have a message going out immediately to the individual that becomes part of our email marketing list. So what we're going to do now is we're going to click Save and Publish. And this message is now ready to go out to that individual that opts into our email list. Now what you have the ability to do is to send promotional emails to the individuals that are going to be part of your list. And to do that inside of Get Response, all you need to do is to go to this Create button. You then go and create a newsletter. You can then use the drag and drop email editor. And you'll notice then that we're using the list that we created. We're going to create a message name and the subject. Now these are going to be the same thing. Only one of these are going to be seen by the customer. That's going to be the subject, but you can name these the same thing. And so you have the newsletter settings. What you're going to do is you're going to click Next Step. And we're going to go through a similar process that we did when we created the autoresponder. And so what we're going to do is we're going to just create a blank template from scratch. Now for the sake of this video, we're not writing a long email. However, you would write email that would suit your customer base. All we're going to do is we're going to link to the areas on our Etsy site that we want people to see in our promotional email. And we can send these emails to the individuals that are going to be part of our email marketing list, because now we have their permission in order to send them emails that are going to be promotional in nature. And so what we will basically be doing is we will be sending promotional emails when we feel it's going to be appropriate to the individuals that join our email marketing list. Now what you've seen is a basic structure that we did inside of Get Response. You will need to replicate this inside of your email service provider or email sender. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another process.